Good morning. I would like to once again welcome you to chapel and into this new year at TLU and in campus ministry. All of you are a part of the ministry that happens here on campus. I encourage all of you to attend chapel frequently and to be a part of campus ministry sponsored events. I'm looking forward to an exciting and fun-filled year. So with that said, let's take a moment to look at the campus ministry theme and see what it says for you and for me. Our campus ministry theme this year is titled Bread of Life, as you will see on the front of the t-shirts this year. So, with that, instantly, I think about many different kinds of bread. Bread is a part of most of the meals I consume in some form or fashion. I like to eat the delicious hamburgers from Kirby's on hamburger buns. I have a habit of eating sandwiches for lunch, and when I do, they are on sandwich bread. And perhaps I could even consider the tortillas that are part of my breakfast tacos from Lucky's as a form of bread. Okay, so I think you get my point. There are many kinds of meals that involve bread in some way. You can probably relate. There's something special about bread in my meals, whatever meal it might be. The bread provides nutrition and nourishment to my body in some way. A serving of bread will provide nourishment to a hungry body. And I don't know about you, but for me, every time I eat bread, I'm temporarily nourished. I showed you the front of the shirt, but now I would like to show you the back. So for those of you who are familiar with the Pac-Man game, you instantly see the connection to the familiar screen of the game. In the game, if you're familiar with it, Pac-Man, the goal of it is for Pac-Man to eat the dots and the fruit along the way while trying to avoid the ghosts that try to attack and take over the life of Pac-Man. So our lives at TLU can be compared to that of this game because we're constantly presented with foods to feast on. Some of them are nourishing, like that of the fruit in the game, or as in our campus ministry theme, the bread and the fish, while other foods can be harmful to us, like the ghosts and Pac-Man. Jesus says in John 6:33, "For the bread of God is that which comes down from heaven and gives life to the world." Consider foods as your decisions. What will you decide to participate in? Where will your bread be found? Once you find out where your bread can be found, begin to look for ways you can share it with others. Will you look for breads filled with nourishment, or will the ghosts and less satisfying foods get the best of you? You may choose to watch TV all day long because you have that option in college. Perhaps you choose to procrastinate on your homework, or maybe you choose to devote all your time to your studies in the library and never leave the library. Or will you nourish yourself academically by choosing to take challenging and exciting classes? Will you nourish yourself socially by joining a campus group or by getting to know the residents in your residence hall? Or you could also nourish yourself spiritually by joining a faith group where you would be engaging in weekly discussions with other people who share your faith. And while this sounds like I may only be talking to first-year students, I'm not. I'm talking to everyone because this is a new year, a new chance for you to make your own decisions, to choose which you want to be involved in. So what will you fill your life with this year at TLU? This year's theme comes from the text in the Gospel of John, where in chapter 6, verse 35, Jesus says, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never be hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty." Jesus is our bread, our total and complete nourishment. We can trust in him and come to him with all of our hunger and thirst so that we may be nourished. Both new and returning students and faculty, search for nourishment in this community of both faith and learning. You will find it in almost every place imaginable. Take a moment and look around. Look at the people surrounding you. There are athletes, there are campus ministry leaders, all these people in these gray shirts. There's SGA senators among you. There are peer mentors and even professors who would love to get you connected in this community at TLU. So together, let's have a fulfilling year by looking for places for our daily nourishment.